in the last session of this Mission Impact and Inclusion training series. There has been 3 sessions prior to this. So Jesus Tuesday, I know we've seen you in a lot of them. Becky and Cassie, thank you so much for being here. It's really been fun for Alexis and I to put our educational vision into action here. And that's what we're going to ask you all to do today as we wrap up the series. So we're going to just give a little recap on the first 3 sessions. And then Alexis is going to walk us through what mission and impact looks like and some scenarios. And then we're going to have a quick discussion on what our commitment to action looks like. And then we'll go from there. So a quick recap on the first session of Changing the Game. This is when we really talked about the fundamental principles of the American Red Cross and how diversity is in everything that we do. Whether you work at blood drives, your staff, you're a volunteer, you're deploying, you're working at the front desk, everything we do, there is diversity there, and the cultural awareness, cultural curiosity aspect of it is really important to understand. So we took time during the first session to redefine diversity and ground ourselves in the fundamental principles with different explanations there, and the big name change that the Red Cross implemented to Mission Impact and Inclusion to create a Red Cross focused program for diversity, equity, and inclusion. So that's a recap on the first session. The second one of Bridging Diversity is where we really wanted to see how we can take our prior knowledge and apply it to what we do during disaster relief operations and delivering equitable service deliveries. This whole session was around what we currently do and how we can do it in an even better way. So we do a really good job at the things we do, but we can always take it a step further. So that's what we discussed during Bridging Diversity. And the Breaking Barriers was how can we remove the systemic and practical obstacles that we face day to day? How can we ask better questions, gain understanding, and remove our own individual biases that naturally come to us as we are human, so we can just serve our communities better and just go into every situation with an open mind. So that's a little recap on what we've gone over at the first 3 sessions, and it's been a joy. Like I said, it's been really fun to discuss all of these different items with you all. And I'm going to pass it to Alexis so we can walk through a few scenarios.
Yes, thank you, Caitlin. So I want to read these scenarios to you all, and I would really appreciate if you all would come off mute and give me some of your opportunities to pivot and make sure that we are providing the best mission delivery and service to our communities, okay? So the first scenario, we are following a severe storm. A Red Cross shelter opens in a community with a large Spanish and Arabic speaking population. Several families arriving needing assistance, but only English language signage and intake forms are available. A volunteer notices that some families leave without completing intake or accessing service. What are some ways for us to pivot in this particular scenario to ensure that we are delivering the service to this community that's in need? I see Tuesday. You can also drop your answers in the chat for sure, and I will read them. Thank you, Tuesday. I see she's typing. Contact an interpreter. That is a resource that we offer at the American Red Cross. So yes, contacting an interpreter would be best so that we could have someone to come in and be that language support for that community. Also looking for opportunities to pivot. We have one source where we can pull up certain documents in different languages. So looking for a way to get those printed, if that's someone else running back to the office or calling in a partner or someone who's on the way to the shelter to say, hey, we need documents in different languages. We need signage to support this community. Making sure we do those things. So making sure we're going that extra step to deliver that service to all communities, no matter what what language they speak.
I'm gonna come out out of mood. I'm driving, so I apologize for that. But one of the things that also is using the tools like Google Translator. I used that in the past.
Yes.
So,
thank you. And that is right on the spot. So thank you, Jesus. That is something that you can use right on the spot. Google Translator. Hi, Dana. Let's just do our best. We have to be quick. If you're struggling, something that we are implementing and using more at the Red Cross is AI. Asking AI, if you don't know any suggestions, hey, this is the situation I'm in. Could you make some suggestions on the best thing for me to do in this scenario? And that'll allow you to find other resources that may be helpful, like Google Translator. Thank you, Jesus.
to add also, we use Copilot, and it's covered basically if you have an account in Red Cross.
Yes, Copilot, our handy dandy assistant. Okay, so our second scenario. In a community with a history of underinvestment, residents are hesitant to accept Red Cross assistance following a disaster. Some express skepticism about eligibility or fear sharing personal information. What are some ways that we can support this community as they are not having trust with the American Red Cross? Any suggestions? You can drop it in the chat or come off mute.
In my case, it's like being engaging local nonprofit organizations that are they're being supporting also. So it's a collaboration.
Thank you, Jesus. That is our number one resource, building connections with people in communities before disasters so that we can be a partner and understand and have a real pulse on that community. When we partner with community leaders of churches, of community centers, of any type of nonprofit, when we work together to collaborate to service the community, that is our best way in. That is the only way to really get a pulse on the community and not come in and just expect to be the hero. We want to know what the community needs, what they're looking for. And the best way to do that is by connecting with those community leaders who are already in the community and serving the community. Any other suggestions? All right, thank you. So we wanted to do our commitment to action as affirmations and things for us to be able to reflect on and really take take things into our own hands. So the first one, I will ask you all to drop your answer in the chat. What, after experiencing this Mission Impact and Inclusion series, what is something that you've identified that you're going to stop? I know one thing for me is I will stop assuming.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I was putting it in the chat, but I will say it out loud. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing of as like my reflection statement, I guess. I will stop assuming and I will start asking and then I will continue advocating.
Yes, thank you. So I will stop assuming. I will start researching different communities, like making a conscious effort to know about the different things that all communities are going through, one community at a time, but just digging deeper into like the cultural differences that all communities have, because that's something that I'm interested in. And I will continue to share grace. I think a lot of times when we're working with different communities and working with different people, we have to extend grace so that we can be understanding and friendly and let people get a chance to learn from the different worlds and different communities that we're coming from. Tuesday said in the chat, I will stop being biased. I will start using more implicit bias techniques, and I will continue advocating for the marginalized and vulnerable populations. That is beautiful. Thank you, Tuesday. Dana said, I will stop going on stereotypes. Very good. Thank you. I see Becky and Cassie are dropping things in the chat. If you all would want to start dropping in, I will start statements. Becky said, I will stop and ask for grace as we learn together. Yes. I love that.
I started to type, but Alexis, your answer was so good. And just thinking about where people come from, different backgrounds and whatnot. And one of the things that I think I want to stop is trying to tie other people's actions or other people's lives into my own, with my own frame of reference, and start understanding that, everybody is such an individual, and really continuing to seek understanding instead of trying to figure out where my thought processes will align with theirs, because they don't, because we're all so different.
Yes, I love that. We are all diverse in thought and background and upbringing, which brings together a wealth of knowledge. So yes, I wholeheartedly agree, Cassie. I love that. Dana says she would start asking the appropriate questions and continue learning and researching resources. We are our biggest, I always say we are our biggest critic, but what I'm thinking more so is like, I think we're our biggest superheroes. Like when we are actively researching, that does so much to let us understand the differences in community. So having that piece of doing your research and continuing to learn, being a lifelong learner, when my teachers used to say that to me when I was in school, I'm like, there's no such, like, you're not going to be in school forever. But no, it's more so like being aware and looking for opportunities to learn and research about things that you don't know. That's how you keep your brain expanding, and that's how you stay in the know. So I really love that, Dana. Jesus said he will continue reaching. I will continue reaching or listening for understanding, show empathy, and act to help. Yes, empathy, empathy, empathy. When you show, I love that, Jesus. I really do. Showing empathy goes such a long way, because at the end of the day, we're all just trying our best. Like it's everyone's first time living. So we're just figuring it out. So being empathetic to the next and being understanding and willing to listen really takes us to the next step. So thank you all for sharing. I really, really appreciate you all. I want everyone, if you have a sticky note next to you, if you have your planner next to you, have a notebook next to you, I really want us to take the time to write our own personal action statement. And you can feel free to share it in the chat, but I really want this to be our takeaway as we complete this training. So in my role as a senior volunteer engagement specialist, I commit to learning about others because that allows me to alleviate human suffering. That's my personal action statement. I want to continue to learn about others so that I can continue to support the mission and help alleviate suffering. It's not just about my experiences or the community that I come from. It's about the beautiful, diverse, and array of communities that all merge together in the Michigan region, in the United States of America, in the world, that everybody's culture, everybody's background and history plays a part. So I want to commit to learning about others and not just my own experiences. Feel free to come off mute and share your personal action statement, or just write it out and really take it forth and carry that as a affirmation in the organization. So I'll give everyone some time, and then if you would like to share, I would love to hear.
I can share mine. So, in my role as a volunteer recruitment specialist, I commit to educating myself and reaching all communities that I personally can. Because the goal is to reach all communities as we're alleviating human suffering in the face of emergencies, and everyone deserves the chance at some assistance, at some hope, and during some of their worst possible days. So I commit to reaching all communities that I can.
Thank you, Caitlin. Yes. I see Dana is typing in the chat. So let's give it a few minutes because I do see some people typing in the chat and I would love to share them. Tuesday, thank you. In my role as a caregiver, I commit to participating in trainings and webinars that will help me provide holistic, cultural, competent care because when you are treated as a person who feel better, you'll feel better and heal better. I fear you ate down with that one. I do love that. Yes. Providing holistic, cultural, competent care. That's just that is I love that Tuesday. I'm so sorry, I'm thinking of the show. I love that Tuesday. That's amazing. Oh, Dana, in my role as a DHS worker, I commit to being patient, active listening, and not judgmental because they are already facing a crisis and have experienced trauma. Thank you. I love that answer. It's the being patient and active listening. I love those two because, people are coming from different places and different spaces. So, yes. And then we have Jesus dropping his answer in the chat. As a part of bridging the gap as Amigo engage, Amigo, engage myself and collaborate with my hosting region to understand the needs of the community, identify resources, and coordinate for action plans to deploy those resources. So being collaborative with your team to bring resources and identify resources that could help. I love that answer. So I love how we are all in different roles, which shows diversity and how we are all coming with different aspects and things that we've learned. So I really encourage you all to take this personal action statement and just keep it with you as you move through your volunteer experience and as you move through the world here at Almost Lifetime. So yeah, thank you all. So thank you all for going on this redefining diversity journey with us. We really appreciate you all. These trainings will be added to your volunteer connection profile. If you have any feedback, you can definitely share with Natalie McIntyre at redcross.org and, let us know how we did or things that you would like to see in the future.
Thanks everyone for joining. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I love these conversations. And I think you guys did a phenomenal job and just giving us things to think about and ponder on. And it always comes back to humanity. So I really appreciate you all in doing this.
Yeah, thanks, Becky. Humans serving humans. Gotta
Love
understand
it.
them. All right, thanks
Have a
everyone.
great weekend, everyone.
Have a
Yes,
great
have a great
weekend.
weekend. Thank you.
I think it will be easier if I can step out and get out of the mute. I cannot type. Sorry.
Yeah, no, please come off mute.
I put out a question basically on the chat. I stopped basically so I can type without no issues with the law. But do you think that we'll be able to use this program to promote this with my hosting region?
Yeah, what region is it?
So I support, as part of the Amigos, I support Minnesota's and North and South Dakota, and it's been a challenging for me because I'm a doer, and
Yeah.
one of the things that I've been encountered with them is that, and I'm trying to be diplomatically correct, but I think I should not. With the current political environment where we are, there's a lot of things that is happening in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
My role is not being fully engaged. They, it, I have
Because of that?
yes, I
Okay.
have. We have apparently there are several volunteers that are Hispanic, and basically might not have the proper paperwork. And again, we don't care for that, but it will be sad. Several of the people that I interview, well, I interview one person, but the people that I interview from the leadership role at Red Cross, it says that we know that our volunteers are scared. They to support a fire, or they don't want to do anything outside of their houses because they're afraid that they're gonna be ended in cuff and take it to somewhere play. Again, it's and I understand that part. That's what um I I talk about empathy because I know what they're suffering.
Right.
Similar thing in Grand Rapids. I heard a couple things. I'm here in Kalamazoo, and I just heard basically 3 weeks ago that ICE basically took a couple people from one of the nonprofit in this area when they were asking for assistance. Um, Again, I understand. I know the political environment is
Yeah, it's hard.
but I know that basically it, I'm trying to see how I can use the resources that I have available.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do something virtual, and thinking
Mm.
about program this a little bit training basically. I probably I would like to propose if we can use the guidelines whatever. I'll try to deploy these basically with all of them that can be virtual, and at least we can show empathy and we can try to help them in some
Mhm.
way. But I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I know because they're in our division, and I know that Natalie had told us that people within our division like were interested in joining this training or using these items. So let us reach out to her and see if someone else had already contacted her from Minnesota, because it very well could have been, that area. And if not, then I don't see why we couldn't set something up to where if you even needed our support on like us presenting,
Mhm.
I'm sure that we could maybe combine them to where it's 2 sessions instead of the 4, just because the 4 is a lot. Yeah, maybe we can figure something out.
Yeah,
Or we have the recordings too
okay. Yeah.
that are already posted. They're posted on YouTube, and we could send you, the links to where we don't even have live sessions. Maybe they just watch them. That's an option too.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I communicated with Gina Marino, that is my host basically there,
Mhm.
and basically I told her I know that things are a little bit shaky, and I understand these things kind of slow. It's just me. I like to do stuff,
Yeah.
and I've been trying to reach out to several people there, and it, I don't want to um apparently. So they also advised me not to contact anybody. I said I don't have no way to contact anybody. But
Mhm.
uh, one of the recruiters informed me that they got complaints of people calling on behalf of the Red Cross
trying to gather information, and
Oh,
that's basically what I have to stop. But I don't have nobody to call. I don't know any. Well, I know few people
yeah.
on the region now that I've been in contact, and most of the communication is via email.
Mm,
But I thought that in this role that it's a pilot program. I want to be
right.
successful. I want to do something, and
So who's
Mhm.
your supervisor for that position? I'm just curious.
Gina Marino.
Okay. And that's the RVSO there,
Are yeah,
the head
sure.
of volunteer services.
And I think it's a disaster project manager or something like that.
Oh,
Region.
okay. I'm
He's a
thinking of a different one then.
that's she handles Minnesota's and North and South Dakota,
Okay. Yep.
and
Is
that's basically what I'm going to her because I feel that that's my goal. Sorry
right.
for that. Um, I can say better things in Spanish, but
Mhm.
English I have to think about
Hi,
Spanish.
Alexis.
So
Um,
that's basically what I was trying to do.
yeah, for sure. Really quick. Let me stop this recording. I didn't even realize it was still recording. There we go.